What's going on, guys? We are back with another video, and today we're gonna do a full in-depth tour of our DIY build for our camper topper. So let's show you our home away from home and get right into it.
This is my house. Entry, please.
Before jumping in, everything we're gonna be talking about will be linked down in the description. Most of them are gonna be affiliate links, so when you buy through those links, it helps support the channel. And so if you are thinking about any of these products, please use the links down in the description. Going into it, the build idea behind this was to make it functional, but as lightweight as possible. So starting off, what we did was the floor, we needed to make it level and flat. So we used a 1/4 inch piece of plywood that we cut to the shape of the bed and bolted it down in 4 corners. Essentially drilled a little hole and bolted it down onto the 4 corners of the bed, and it's strong, it's thin enough so it's light, but strong enough where it supports the weight in between the ridges of the bed. On top of that, we wanted something that was easy to clean, so we ended up putting a vinyl material that makes it look like laminate wood, and layered that on there, and so far it's been holding up just fine, and it's been on the build now for about 2 months, and 2 months of pretty hard use. Over here we got our Icicle JL50 fridge that we've had for the last 2-3 years that has been absolutely solid. And to secure it, most of your fridge tie downs are actually really kind of pricey, and so what I ended up doing was ordering this off of Amazon, and it is a battery tie down for like a car battery. I essentially got 2 of them, and there's 1 on each side, and I drilled it into the 1/4 inch plywood, and it holds the fridge perfectly in place even with the aggressive off-roading that we do. We got our little first aid kit here that just velcros onto the walls, because the walls of the Harker Outdoors is velcro. Coming up over here on the passenger side, we have this section here, which is a mesh net that also from Amazon that we got to secure kind of our upfront things that we need. So we have a rubber mat that we lay down here, so that way we don't track a lot of dirt inside. We can clean our shoes off here. And then also here we have our collapsible step stool, so we can just put that here, and it's nice and easy to get into the truck. And then the last thing that we have here that we store here is our shower floor, because we have our shower tent on the side, so this simply unfolds, and we put that on the floor when taking showers and stuff like that, so our feet don't get full of sand and dirt while we're showering. All right, moving up into the actual build, kind of going over our cabinets and what we use to build the cabinets. So like I said, the original design was to make it as lightweight as possible and also cheap. I thought about using extrude aluminum, which is lightweight, but it is very costly. So we actually ended up going to Home Depot and getting ourselves pine wood that was 3/4 of an inch by 1.5 inches. And that's essentially the frame. And then connecting those, we have L brackets, metal L brackets to give it structural integrity. And then the walls of it is 1/4 inch plywood. It's very similar to what we used for the floor as the walls. So for reference, this cabinet, without the drawers, it only weighs 14 pounds. And then the back L bracket, the L cabinet that we have back here behind me, which I'll go over shortly later in this video, only weighs 36 pounds. So going over this one, the drawer system, these are actually like server drawers. And we got them because they're locking, so when off-roading, they're not gonna go sliding out on us. So you can unlock them, and it's 3 drawers. We store, typically on our bottom drawer, we store dry foods. This middle drawer here, we got it's like our spice drawer and the coffee machine. And then the top drawer is just miscellaneous things that we need for storage. Coming up on the wall here, you can see we got a bunch of mesh nets that we use for just kind of miscellaneous things. As you see, we have some disinfectant wipes, some spray for cleaning dishes, bug spray, and then we have a little indoor fire extinguisher. On this side, we have what you're probably wondering what these are, and these are our shoe bags. So also from Amazon, I got Velcro that I super glued on the back of these pouches, and essentially this is where we put our shoes when we're inside the campers. That way they don't, especially after a day of off-roading, they're usually full with dirt and dust. You put them in there and it kind of helps keep everything clean. Behind the fridge here, I have our leveling blocks that we have back here. So when we get to a spot that isn't very leveled, we use those to level out the trucks. That way when we sleep, we're sleeping very level. And then right behind the fridge here is our garbage solution. So I know most people have the trasharoo and stuff like that, which is good, but I personally don't like them because, one, especially if you're camping in bear country, you're just going to attract you're going to attract bears to your campsite, and they're probably going to tear that trasharoo apart, whereas having something inside is more protected. So, but obviously having it inside, your trash is going to get smelly. So what we did is we actually got a baby diaper garbage can. So far, I mean, we've camped in some pretty warm weather, and just this past week we came from Moab, and the high during the day was 105, 106, and it never smelled back here. It seals the smells pretty well, and it uses your standard 13-gallon garbage bags. So far it's been working fantastic as a garbage solution. And then right behind there we have one of our kinetic recovery ropes that's just kind of stashed there. Now moving back to this L cabinet that we got going on here and what we have stored around it. Right behind here we have our 2 camping chairs that we store right behind there. And then we also have obviously our 2 shelves here. And what the shelves have, the bottom shelf is mainly all tools, and if we ever had a break or something happen on the trail, we have pretty much anything that could fix it that we would need on the truck. So we have our jack there. We also have our impact gun. We have wrenches. We have socket wrenches. And we have an Allen key set. Coming up on the top shelf, we have our front runner kitchen set, which has all silverware and anything you would need for cooking. We also have a hammock up here as well. And then coming here, as you can see, is kind of where the beginning of our power system that we have going on back here. So we have our Renogy battery monitor showing us how much draw we have, how much intake power we have, and also the percentage of the battery, which you can see there, it's sitting at 100%. And then further down here we have our switches, which I only have 1 switch utilized right now. Eventually the plan is to add some exterior lighting on those other switches, but we have a dedicated 12 volt here, and we also have 2 USB charging ports there as well for charging devices. One thing to note, I did have for the fridge, I have a dedicated 12 volt plug just behind this cabinet back here. So that way, because the fridge can always run on its own 12 volt, and we have a spare 12 volt plug here. So one of the switches, like I said, one of the switches does have power, and that is our lighting solution back here, which is this LED strip that I also got off Amazon that goes all the way around on the outside, and just to show you, puts out a nice white even light all the way across. Super useful for lighting inside, and then it also lights if we have the tailgate open. If we're doing something on the tailgate, it'll light there as well, very bright. Obviously can't go without noticing what we got going on back here, and we have a 2000 watt inverter and a 50 amp hour DC to DC charger. It has the option for solar and alternator power. Solar is in the works eventually. We do plan on getting a solar panel up top, but right now it is solely charging off of the alternator, which has so far been plenty enough power to kind of keep the batteries going. We also have our cushions that you see here, which are kind of a temporary thing. We do plan on upgrading these, but essentially what we had a spare memory foam topper, you know, those mattress toppers that are memory foam. We essentially cut them up, went to Michael's and got some fabric and wrapped them in it, and that's what is sitting up on here. And then to access our storage down here, you just simply reach in, and the top of them are held on by magnets that are here, and that's what holds the top in place from rattling off-road. What we got here on the left-hand side is our two 5-gallon jerry cans, so we always have 10 gallons of fresh water on board. And then what sits on top of that is our toilet system. And then the compartment next to that is where our geyser shower system sits, as well as we also have down there we have the cat litter for the bathroom situation, and then as well as our Lone Rock water pump for the 5-gallon jerry cans. Now for this side, it's a very similar situation. The cushion comes off, top pops off, held on by magnets, and then I just drilled a hole in the middle so that way I can stick my finger and pull this top off. And then on this side, we got a fan just in case it's hot. We also have our jet boil system here, which has been great, and that's what we use for all our cooking needs. We have an air pump mattress for a lot of times lately we've had a lot of people come with us that have been camping in a ground tent, that we have a spare ground tent, and we obviously fill it up with an air mattress with them, so we keep that in there. We have our extended propane line for our cooking situation. The jet boil essentially is just an extended line, so that way we can cook anywhere. And last but not least, we have our lava box here, our fire pit, propane fire pit that we've had for the last 1.5 years and been loving it, and that just fits right there. Last but not least, we have where the battery is, and obviously I wanted to design it if something happened, if I needed to find something, what's going on, for some weird connection the battery wasn't working. I wanted to have easy access, so once you remove all this stuff, we have our shelf in here that simply just pops out. Once again, also on magnets. Just comes out like that. You can move that out of the way, and lo and behold, we have our 300 amp hour Renogy battery. And then we have kind of all of our connections. We have a fuse panel back here, and you can see in the right corner over here, that is the dedicated 12-volt connection for the fridge. Lastly is our mattress situation, which the Harker Outdoors one for us didn't work out so well, and they were kind enough to let us return that mattress, and we were able to upgrade to a Hest mattress, and this mattress has been super comfortable. It is a little pricey, but if you care about sleep, it's well worth it. Probably the best camping night's rest we've had in a really long time after the 2 or 3 nights we've already slept on this mattress. Well, that's our DIY build. Again, this was designed with being lightweight. I don't have an exact number for every single piece in here and all our gear and how much it weighs, but again, the rear L cabinet weighs a whopping 36 pounds, and this little cabinet ironically weighs more, and that's just simply because of the drawers, and this cabinet comes in at 58 pounds. We also designed it to be durable. As you can see, it's holding up just fine, and If you don't believe me, go check out some of our other videos, and we do some pretty serious wheeling in this truck, and the cabinets have been holding up just fine and everything is still in its place. And obviously, last but not least, we designed it to be very functional. So everything has a home, everything has a place. We have this countertop here that we've already used once when we got to camp. During inclement weather, we were able to run that extended propane line in here and cook in here just fine, even though the weather was outside was bad. Another comment that I feel like I might get is, well, why do you have 300 amp hours of battery? That's a little overkill. And to that I say, you're absolutely correct. It is overkill, but the reasoning behind it is if we got a lot more into this and more frequently camping, both Nicole and I work remotely, and the plan was to get a Starlink, and obviously running Starlink, charging laptops is going to pull a lot of juice, so that's why we went the 300 amp hour battery route. So if you liked the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more off-roading content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.